Okay, you can breathe and then put it back up because we still need to be able to breathe a little bit. We just don't want you hanging out with your whole mask on. Okay? All right, so let's get another clap of you excited. All right.
So today, what we want to do really quick is we would like for the panelists to be able to introduce themselves.
You got a special presentation.
Yeah.
Now in a special interview on the gospel and spiritual songs of America, one of its greatest singers, Mahalia Jackson.
Well, there you have it. Welcome, welcome. So, first, let's start off with you and our audience for who we just saw, and with our panel, we'll have our panel introduce themselves. How did that make you feel? Anybody? Anybody? How did that make you feel? What you just saw? I'm sorry? Made you feel sad. Why?
She was forced to portray something that was not her heart.
Did y'all hear her? Okay. Anybody else? How did that make you feel in the bed?
Frustrated.
Frustrated.
Because I felt like this thing happened.
I can't hear the last part. Anybody else?
For me, I saw myself.
Okay.
Like a personal experience that I had performing. And being the object. You know what I mean? Like exploiting your blackness.
Yes, yes. Anybody else? Yes. I'm sorry, you have to also say your names. We're gonna get to know each other tonight.
Hello, my name is Ashley. All right. I basically just did as an actor, it reminds me of the tap dancing that you feel like you have to do within this industry to basically appease certain people, certain demographics in order to be seen, be employed, or what have you.
Yes. How did that strike any chords with you?
Oh yeah,
Like anger,
frustration. Yeah.
Anybody else before we ask the panel? Yes, panel.
It's complicated because it's work. Like Hattie McDaniel said years ago, I'd rather be paid $700 a week to play a maid than to be a maid. I mean, you know, my grandmother was a maid, so I mean, there's anything wrong with that. But it is complicated, and we've all, I think, probably played characters who had to deal with blackface, and which is rather absurd when you're putting black on black, but there's a chance to also work too when there was very little to do. So, so it has a whole history, and it's just not black and white.
Right.
To be fun, but yeah.
Especially with black putting on black. We have seen through the decades people who were white putting on blackface. But to see as another black person putting on blackface, having to take on, like you were saying, whether it could be for a role, whether it could be for taking a job that, you know, that we need to be able to pay the bills. And I'm sure a lot of times us as actors and artists and activists, you know, sometimes feel like we have to take on something that we might not necessarily want to do, but because we need to work. And that's going to be explored later. Yes.
Desi Shelton, Camden Repertory Theater, and I definitely, from an executive point of view, I saw that with the funding world. I feel like that every time I ask for funding, that I have to put on a blackface, exclude the conditions of my people, call them underserved, when I don't necessarily believe that they're underserved, because I'm there. We're being serviced in another way, and whatever the new coin term is, I felt like I have to do that and talk about, oh yeah, well this boy go to his parents are in prison, and you have to bring out all of the hardships in order to end up 15 years later still being at $68,000 general operating fund, right? And you feel like that every time you do a grant, you put on the black face. Every time if they even let you in the door, and then you look at it, and then I stop, and you look at the funding awards, and it's like $300 and something thousand to this organization, $300 and something thousand to this organization, and then $500,000 to this organization, and hardly any of them have executives of color. You know what I mean? Led by specifically black women serving black people. So that's what I felt like that.
Yes. So we also explored like putting on a mask.
Yeah.
I remember there was a very powerful poem by Maya Angelou, which she talked about how we have to wear the mask in society and everything that we do, and how we have to laugh off our pain. So we are definitely going to go through the painful part, which is the beginning of our town hall meeting. We're going to talk about our experiences having received funding, ways where we have been held back or left behind. And in the second half of our discussion, we're going to talk about how we're going to heal. All right. Tamara is going to come and give us our whole spiel on mask, and then we're going to introduce our wonderful panel for you this evening.
So here's the spiel on safety, you know, so we don't look like death. You know what I'm saying? So here it is. So basically, I would like to say that, of course, I know that you wear masks for long periods of time. That's why we wear them in the market. We jump into our cars and we're like, right? That type of stuff. And when we work out, we sometimes don't wear cloth masks. You can see I have like 3 because I'm just anal. So there it is. So, and you know, and even people I love, I'm like this. Hey, girl. You know what I'm saying? So, what I would like to say is that if you do have to move your mask, like for health reasons, if you feel like you're having a panic attack, the heat is getting into you, you are having a moment. You know, some of us in here in our summertime, like we have a summertime 12 times a year, you know what I'm saying? So you might be like, is that the sweat or is that this mask? Like, what's happening? You know, you might have to go out and release yourself and breathe and do a circle and come out. But we ask that you do it outside and then enter back into the space. The pathway of least resistance with the camera is to kind of come this way and either sit here or come this way and sit back there or that way, right? Okay, that's it. And then we're gonna actually right now introduce the panelists. I would also like to say to piggyback on what you say is that something that we don't always think about when we're writing policy. I'm a policy writer, but I also am a person that scores grants. So a lot of those grants you send, I'm that person behind the table. And I'm telling you, you gotta do a sob story because of the rubric. So what you're asking is you need the rubric to be changed. So a lot of times we always are asking, we need more funding, we need this. And I find that as an organization, as a collective of Black people, because we actually vote more so than any other population, despite people tell you. So the thing, especially Black women, if a group of Black women go to Harrisburg and like, we need the rubric to be changed, or you sit at the meetings at the cultural affairs art place that is in only 2 people, they got 4 people in the whole office that got $4 million, and they like, good luck and be great, right? The thing is you want rubrics to be changed because the rubrics only benefit those theaters making $1 million or more because that's how they're set up. And even when I'm checking off boxes, I could tell that somebody wrote this who looks like me. And I'm like, Lord, I said, okay, I can only get them 5 points because that's what this box says. You know what I'm saying? So those are the type of things we're gonna talk about too. So right now we're gonna go from here over.
Can you explain what that term was?
Yeah, so rubrics are basically when you send a grant off and basically like to call them your big grandma stories. That's, I mean, people are kind of comment. I hate to say it out loud. But that's what we call it because it's like the more you lay on the line. So this is like, and you can see it in white theater companies. White theater companies will say you're going into communities that are underserved and you buzzword, right? And I'm gonna do this great work. It doesn't say anywhere when they give the money that they have to have diversity and leadership. It just has to say they're working towards it. So what does that mean? That means I'm gonna put an article, I'm gonna put an ad in a newspaper and say I'm seeking a person of color to do this job that has a degree. But then there are none that have the requirements, and then I can go to the other person legally. You see what I'm saying? So this is the loophole that, you know, has always been there. And like Black theater companies that have strived, like Penumbra in Minneapolis, right? Her father gave her that company. The company is pretty much always in the black when it comes to money. And it has to do with the fact that they have constantly had this ongoing relationship with Minnesota as a state to make sure that rubric give them the best thing that they can, along with other diverse organizations in the state. So this is actually a policy issue too. So I do want us to think about that because we like to talk and we like to write petitions, but you need to write laws that change. Because now reality, if you want people to treat you right just because they're supposed to, then you should move to imaginary land. Because that's not where we live. We live in a country where laws is how people get treated better, right? And policies are laws. And policies are dictated by voters, dictated by how much money you can bring to the table, and how much clout. That means who is on your board that's important to this. You should be talking to Vincent Hughes. As much as he sometimes gets on my nerve, he is the head of the money. He's the head of the appropriation committee at Harrisburg. That is the money. I don't need to talk to somebody at the cultural affairs office. Let me talk to him to be like, where's the money for cultural arts in the city, and how you want to make sure that we get it as Black and brown art, right? Okay, sorry, that was more than I wanted to say. So just put a pin in. I just really wanted to put that on your mind so that when we're having this conversation and people are asking questions, if that comes up, so be it. Okay, we'll go from here to here. You just tell us your name, who you're affiliated with, your organization is, doing a really great organization is, and basically really brief, what brought you to this space. Why are you here today?
But now, that's what takes off for a second. I represent the DC Black Theater Festival. My shirt was very.
Yeah.
I pulled it out, but I was looking up here, smell like outside. What brought me up here? A truck.
That's okay. Hey, man, you were like up the highway. That's all right. Next.
My name is Walter Shields. In one capacity, I'm just an artist, but I'm a co-founder and co-artistic director of Theater Yet, along with Denise Miller White, Charlotte Campbell. So I've been waiting to have this conversation with primarily Black and brown folks, because there's been a lot of conversations over the last month or so, and they've been with a lot of white folks, and white folks generally mean well when it comes to this kind of stuff, but they're not equipped to solve our problems. So I wanted to have this conversation with us so we can talk about solutions to how we can have our stories in front of our people.
Thank you.
Jesse Shelton, Camden Repertory Theater, because in the Black theater world in Philadelphia and in this area, in the tri-state area, you can do as he said do. Show up. When she says show up, you show up. And one thing for sure, when you call her, she sure gonna show up.
My name is Teresa Terry Johnson. And I'm the director of the CEC. Been there for 20-something years, but I come out of a really rich tradition of dance. I'm a founding member of Urban Squish Women. I danced with them for 10 years, and I came to Philadelphia because my husband is a playwright. And I've always, as a dancer, as a human, thought that the arts were to be in service to the community. And so first as a dancer and then as an administrator and keeping this place going. And so I just wanted to be part of this discussion.
Thank you.
My name is Paul Kern with the Curial Theater Company. I know a lot of you here. I'm here to listen and to make definitive changes to our organization.
All right,
then. Hi, my name is Dan Hyson. I am an artist in Philadelphia, sound designer and actor. I'm here because I think discussion is crucial. I think there's a lot of things to figure out. We're gonna have to talk about it. We just put it in action and hope it works. I err on the side of trying to talk about it and see what works. So I'm here to hear what people have to say. I'm here to share my experiences in Philly and try to get things to change.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tiffany Bacon. I'm an actor, writer, media person in Philly, and I am stylist, all that.
Great costume design.
Thank you. All right, I'll send you that. Now, I'm here really to listen and to see what I can add to uplift. And want to be a part of the action of uplift. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Brian Anthony Wilson. I'm an actor. And I'm here because this C asked me to be here. Gave up a job. I was supposed to do a read tonight, but he said, I want you to be here, so I'm here. You better give me that money, please.
My name is Alexander Burns. I'm the founding artistic director of Contestants Theater. We're up in the Cedric Theater in Mount Airy. I had the great privilege of collaborating with Steve this year, and she invited me to this event, so I'm honored to be here to listen and to learn how to be a better ally.
My name is Ardicia Hall Morambe. I am the Artistic Director of Kaleidoscope Cultural Arts Collective. I am also a professor of theater at Community College in Philadelphia.
And now we have 4 people who are on the Zoom, who are on our panel.
Are we gonna play the Zoom put up here? Yeah. So we're just waiting for them to come up. We have.
It's a little bit of a delay.
Yeah.
Bear with us.
Yeah, just let me say 2 minutes. Let me get somebody.
What's up, Niche?
Can we start with Ed, please? Hello, can you hear us? Can y'all hear us on Zoom?
You will.
I can hear you, but a little faintly.
You'll hear me.
So, let's start with Ed. Can we start with Ed, please? Hello, can you hear us?
There's feedback.
There's feedback.
Yeah, there is going to be feedback. Is there any way that you can, are you engaged in that chat? Can you just tell them in the chat to introduce?
I can hear you now.
That's the best way to do it.
Oh.
Don't talk to them because it will literally, it'll be feedback.
Oh. We start with that first. That's what I need.
Just put the direction in the chat.
And you can also tell them to mute themselves while the other person's talking. Thank you.
Am I next? Is it me? Okay, thank you. I'm Deb Brock. I am a member of First World's board. I have that honor, and I also teach diversity in theater, among other things, at Penn State Brandywine. And so I'm here to listen and do what I can. And also because Z made me come.
Did something happen? We can't hear you.
Sorry, folks, we're just working out how this works exactly. I'm just going to communicate with Gil real quick. Gil, you need to mute and unmute the input on your side. Otherwise, you'll have a lot of feedback back and forth. And I also need to know who you want me to call on in the Zoom meeting. And Mama Z, you can say that out loud. So if you want me to hear something from the room, you're going to have to say it into the input, please. So if you want me to hear something from the room, you're going to have to say it into the input, please.
Okay. So next is Gabriella.
Gabriella's up next.
Yeah, you can pull up Gabriella.
Gabriella's up next. Is that what I heard?
Hey, y'all. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, they can hear you.
Awesome. All right. Thank you all for having me. I'm here because I was invited to be here, and I feel honored to be in this space. And yeah, I'm with Power Street Theater Company. I'm also a multidisciplinary artist, producer, director, actor, community builder, lover, all the things. So excited to be in this conversation with everyone. There's lots of learning there's a lot to learning that I have to do as well. So I'm also here to listen while also offering my lived experience as a testimony to navigating a very white industry.
Tony Nominee.
Sorry again for the delay. Who else is on the Zoom as a presenter? Terry Nolan. Okay. Terry, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Is that working?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Terry Nolan. I'm the producing artistic director at the Art and Theater. I'm also a director, and I am here to listen, and I'm here to learn. And I thank Z very much for the invitation.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
And just as soon as I find out who else is on as a presenter.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, who's speaking?
This is Jamie J. Brunson, Jamie J., the Executive Director of First Person Arts. I am also a playwright, a storyteller. Hello, everyone. Z invited me, and I came because I am experiencing waves of overwhelming sadness, as well as humility as I see all the protesters. And I am eager to serve and use the arts to help to build community through this. And am really excited to be here to listen and to contribute whatever I may have of value. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you, Jamie. And I have Sheffield. I don't seem to have that person here. Aaron Sheffield. Colman Domingo then.
Hello there. Hi. My name is Colman Domingo, and I've been invited by Z. I'm a native of Philadelphia, but I live in LA, and I have recently I've been a part of my home theater in the Philadelphia area has been People's Light Theater Company, where I directed a production of my play Dot last season.
Thank you, Coleman. Really appreciate it. And I still don't see Aaron Sheffield, so I'm going to throw this back to the room real quick, and when we can track down Aaron, I will take it back for her info. Sorry. Coleman, as you're the special guest, I've been asked to ask you to share your experiences in theater and assisting artists.
Oh, that's a big one. That's a way to ease into a conversation now. Well, I have a 30-year history in the theater, and it has been varied from I started my career in San Francisco, and then I was in New York for about 14 years, and then LA, sometime in London. So, and whether it's off Broadway, Broadway, West End, so I have varied experiences. And I think my experiences have been mainly very positive, but with also some complicated times, especially as we develop our voices, and also we're able to actually recognize. For a long time, I believe that when we're all starting out, we're sort of like, we're heard we have the hustle. We're struggling. We want to be seen. We want to be a part of companies. We want to just do the work. We'll do it at any cost. And it's funny because now in this moment, I look back at a lot of times in my career, and you know that you were sort of, I don't want to say used, but I think they understood that if you didn't take the job, someone else will take the job. So therefore, and many times I know that you were not paid your worth. For a long time, I believe I wasn't paid my worth. I think that for a long time, you wonder exactly what diversity truly meant and inclusion truly meant in theater companies. Not just doing the one show with representatives of your experience once a year, where I've actually heard even in recent years when I was trying to get some theaters that I've worked at to do my play Dot. And usually it was between my play and another play. And whatever the narrative I believe that they wanted about African-American life, I think that's what they went with, which is sort of like, honestly, a lot of times I think is a narrow view, which is actually why I became a writer. I started out as an actor, and then I became a writer because I was frustrated. I was frustrated at the lack of, I felt like there was a huge deficit in really compelling stories about the inner city that I understood, and that was actually not under the white gaze. I think that anyone can look at one of my friends, Sean San Jose, who runs Campo Santo Theater Company in San Francisco, told me once, he says, you know, Colman, I'm almost amazed that your plays get produced. And I said, well, why is that? He said, no, it's good work, but it's not in response to white America. People are just being, they just are. Your plays aren't inherently about race, because I feel like, I don't know why I felt like it seems like it was always my responsibility, it seems, as an artist, to talk about race. And I feel like in my daily life, I don't. That we have, so I create plays and I create experiences that are really, except for one piece called Lights Out Nat King Cole that People's Light and Theater Company did. I wanted to hit it head on and deal with deconstructing an American icon and really examining race and identity. But I knew that when I would do it, I would go full out. But it wasn't, you know, I don't consider myself, I love, are you kidding? August Wilson is one of my favorite writers. There's some, Nikki Silver, O'Neill, Neil Simon. But a lot of times when it comes to Black work, I think that we have an expectation to talk about race. And I feel like as a writer, I'm trying to dispel that and just say that we're also just human and moving through our lives. And we have other thoughts and ideas and big ideas and thoughts and dreams and interests in science and art and humanities, you name it. So I think that, but also I think, so I can do that as a writer, but also on the other end as theater producers and financiers, you name it, they have to believe that in some way that I feel like I'm sort of trying to break a mold, because I feel like the work that they rather see, they believe people want, is this very small idea of what it's like to be Black in America. So I think, so that's why, my experiences in the theater have been like, I've been successful and I've been very proud of the work that I've been able to do, but I've also been able to do work that I think is very meaningful to me, like work like Passing Strange or The Scottsboro Boys. I'm very clear about the work that I want to do, because the work that I do is truly as an activist at the same time. I think you should be able to be entertained, and I think you should also have some meaning. And I'm also very careful what I put out into the world, because I know that representation does matter, and I know that when I have an opportunity to create work, create rooms, create different environments, it is a huge opportunity, because it's not only about me, it's about those that are coming behind me as well. So that, I feel like that, hopefully that encompasses that question about my experiences in the theater. I have a production company, I think, for that exact reason, because I think it's not enough to just, for a long time, you try to get a seat at the table. And then once I recognized that you can't have a seat at the table, you have to build your own house, and then they come. That's actually what I've been trying to do.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to toss this back over to a question from the audience. We'll accept answers from the floor and then answers from the panel available here on Zoom. So I'm just going to transition to them. There might be a slight delay, I apologize.
It's okay.
And if the audio operator in the room can lower the audio from the computer while questions are being asked in the room, that'd be great.
We're going to have Lee introduce herself, Aaron, and Richard before we get into the discussion.
I'm sorry, you'll have to repeat that.
Richard Pierce, Aaron Sheffield, Lee Goldenberg.
Okay. Lee, I've seen you on.
She's talking.
See if I can find it. Lee, if you could go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi everyone. Is this working? I'm Lee Goldenberg. I'm the managing director of the Wilma Theater. I started that job the week of the closure for COVID-19. Prior to that, I was the executive director of Theater Philadelphia. Z invited me to be here tonight. I'm very grateful for that. I miss being with all of you and seeing all of your work, and here to listen tonight and help our community move to a place of action.
Thank you, Lee. And I'm sorry, I missed the other two names. I had seen Lee, so that's who I pinned first. If you could give me the other two names. Aaron Sheffield. I still don't see Aaron on this panel. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't see Aaron on the panel here. I'm going to throw this back over to you guys if you'll do your questions and whatnot.
From you in the audience, this whole hour right here is to share your experience. This whole hour right here, and then we'll take from the panel, okay? So y'all can actually turn the house lights up a little bit, that's all right. Anybody have any questions? Anything on your heart you want to share in this hour right here? Anybody? Yes, please say your name.
My question is, with a situation like I'm sure everybody saw on Facebook Theater with the Walnut Street Theater, with an institution like that, that's like so grounded for so many years, how do you dismantle an institution from its racism and chauvinism when they clearly pander to a lot of their subscribers, which we know what that audience usually is, and the type of shows that they want to see? Because for a lot of the people in the administration, it's about the bottom line. So how do we navigate that?
Panel. Did y'all understand the question?
Could you repeat the question, please?
Because I was supposed to actually be working there. I was supposed to be doing bodyguard for music, Florida and Walnut. So that was my first time working there. And they are the best paying theater in the city. And I certainly was looking forward to that money in the health. But it is scary. And before I was cast there, because I never been cast there, and I think the last time I auditioned there was like over 10 years ago. I was going to write a letter because I stopped taking my daughter there because, unlike a year ago, it got to the point where I didn't feel good about taking her there, even though I still go because I got support. Some things I like to see, but I wasn't seeing enough of people to look like her. I wanted to see the little girl with wide nose and full lips up there on that stage. And when they did Elf, I had to take my daughter for that, and I just got pissed off because nobody of color had any lines. And I think there were 2 people in the background. But of course I didn't, I really didn't open my mouth when I should have. But we're past that now, we're in a different place. So, yeah, I may never work there, but we have bigger problems than this. But I'm baffled as to how to tackle that because they are massive and that subscriber base is all. But the other thing is that subscriber base is a lot of blue hairs, and they're going to die off. What are you going to do when that subscriber base is no longer there? So I think it will behoove them to reach out to, people of color because the world is going that way, and it will, make their subscriber base bigger. But I don't know how to go after it because it is a behemoth. And I think, somebody put up there about how there have been no women of color or no men, nobody of color.
It's very women. It's only 4 women that regularly show there, and the next is 7 years.
Right. So that's a great question. I don't know how to even approach it.
Okay, once he's done, anybody that wants to say, make sure you lift your hand up so that I can get everybody who also want to take our panel that's on Zoom, okay? Walt, I think your hand was up next.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably 100 ways to deal with people like Walnut, and I don't know all of them. But one thing that certainly makes sense for folks here in this city is to vocally not support them. And I'm not just talking, we don't go. Nobody goes to the art. Walnut. None of us. But there's always we put a lot of emphasis on celebrities and athletes to boycott stuff. Can I curse? Sure. Boycott shit and tell them, maybe NBA players shouldn't play ball or NFL players should stop playing for these white owners and all that shit. Like black artists, even locally, brown artists, you gotta stop working for these motherfuckers. Like, don't even try to work for them. What are you doing? And I mean, no disrespect, get your money and all of that. But if somebody has that glaring of a history that they don't F with us, and people that look like you, then why do we want to work for them? Things are complex. I don't want to make it seem like it's easy solutions. I deal with a complication. Dr. King said injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So I want to deal with injustice on every level, right? But I also don't want to be nowhere where they don't want me. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, as far as, I think it's going to come down to young people because the old heads kind of know who not to mess with. But the Walnuts, they hire young folk. Don't rent out their spaces. Don't rent out the 3rd floor. Don't rent out Studio 5. Don't give them no money. They don't want you there, don't be there. But vocally not support them and call them out.
Yes. I think, before Glenn talks, I do want to jump on that real quick. Not supporting, this whole conversation is to talk, to come forward and bring our thoughts. But one thing, as an artist, I'm never going to beg to be in nobody's space, ever. Like Walter was saying, if people don't want us there, then we don't have to be there. We have the tools to create the changes that we want to see. We have up and coming theater companies, as you see presented here, with people of color, with Black people, with just even our allies who want to work with us, that we can go. We don't ever have to beg to be in anybody's space. Though this is a conversation, we never have to do that. And that's just for any young person that's out there hearing it that may not know where to go. You are always welcome to First World Theater, to Theater in the X, to KCAC. Your people are here with you. That's why we're here today. So, Glenn, we're going to have Glenn talk, and then we're going to go to our panel on Zoom.
There are two holy hours in America. And I don't think that we oftentimes understand it. I think we understand one. And that is Sunday at 12 o'clock. The other holy time in America is theater time. And both of these groups are as separate as they are both in church and in theater. So theater is the theater of church, church is theater. And so we get these two separations. We have Presbyterian churches that look like how they look, Baptist churches that look how they look. I think this isn't really a conversation. I just want to push back on just a little bit. Not about really dismantling it, but how to build your own church. And that is it. That's the agreement to you, which is that says maybe we should pull back, but the agreement to the community, and that is build. And that is the church that we need to build. We need to build a Baptist church and continue to support Baptist churches of theater.
I want to just make sure we have some questions to come forward. So we've already had 2 responses to the question. I'm going to take one more response to the question. Just want to say that. But I also want to let people know that if you have a cell phone and you're like, I got this question on my head, I don't want to forget it. You can literally text. You can go to tinyurl.com/theater and rate. So that's my little techie nerd thing. You can basically go on there and write a question. It'll come to my phone. And then I can feed the question off the both. We can kind of have things happening at the same time. So we don't have to wait to call on you. I'll see your question. This is way too. This is another option if you don't want to wait. Okay? So that we can make sure that the flow is happening. Okay, sorry. Okay, we got one more with Dr. A, and then we're going to move to our Zoom panel so that they can answer the question. Well, she had, you had a hand up. Okay.
Well, I was just, in 2010, I took understanding the daughter and the niece, right? So I have this Black daughter, and I take her to see theater, children's theater in Philadelphia, and the rich Black prince married the poor white girl. And it was at that moment that I asked myself, and it was Cinderella or whatever it was at that moment, or one of those years, I said, who's going to tell my Black daughter that somebody's going to marry her, right? I needed someone. They weren't telling her on TV. They were telling her she was bitches and boys. They weren't telling her that she was a princess and somebody was going to marry her. So we at Camden Rec gave birth to a children's musical that somebody was going to tell, that we want to tell every Black girl